Under the golden morning sun that spilled across the soft green meadow behind the old farmhouse, Ginger Kitten awoke to the smell of dew, fresh hay, and the quiet hum of bees wandering between clovers. His fur glowed like sunrise itself, a mix of orange and honey, while his tiny paws stretched against the cool earth. From inside the barn came a familiar sound, the rhythmic thud of something bouncing. He perked his ears, tilted his head, and patted over the haystack, peering down to see Milo Kitten, his best friend, a little gray fur ball with sharp green eyes, wrestling with an old, half-deflated leather football that Farmer Ben's kids had left behind weeks ago. "You found it again, didn't you?" Ginger purred, leaping gracefully beside him. "It's not just a ball," Milo replied proudly, puffing his chest. "It's destiny." The word rolled out like a spell, and Ginger couldn't help but laugh. Soon they were nudging, pawing, and chasing the ball across the field, each pretending to be the greatest footballer the world had ever known. Every bounce stirred the grass, every tumble sent laughter through the air, and the meadow echoed with the sound of playful news that no one else could translate. Milo, being smaller but quicker, darted around Ginger with cheeky agility, while Ginger relied on his strength and confidence, often sliding through the grass in dramatic dives to block the imaginary goals Milo declared. The game became an epic match, the Feline Cup Final, as Milo called it, where they imagined crowds of farm animals cheering from the sidelines. Chickens clucked in confusion, the old cow named Daisy lazily chewed her cud as if judging their skills, and somewhere in the distance, a dog barked as though acting as referee. The sun climbed higher, and their world turned into a tiny universe of dreams, 2 kittens, the field, and endless laughter. When the ball rolled into a puddle, they both dived after it, splashing mud and water all over their fur, but instead of frustration, they roared with joy, their friendship sparkling brighter than the morning light. Ginger tried to dribble the ball like he'd seen the humans do, kicking it with careful taps, but his paw slipped, sending the ball flying straight toward the scarecrow at the edge of the field. The scarecrow, tall and stiff, wore a floppy hat that wobbled when the ball hit it, and both kittens froze for a moment, wide-eyed, as if they just scored against the ultimate opponent. Then Milo leapt into the air and shouted, "Goal! Ginger, we did it! We beat the humans!" The 2 kittens rolled on the grass laughing so hard their tiny bellies hurt, the kind of laughter that only pure friendship could summon. And though they were small and the field was vast, they felt like champions, kings of their own tiny world. As the afternoon light began to fade into the golden calm of evening, the meadow cooled, and the playful breeze carried the smell of earth and distant rain. Ginger and Milo sat side by side on the old wooden fence, watching the setting sun paint the sky with streaks of orange, violet, and rose. Between them sat the muddy football, now their greatest treasure, a symbol of teamwork, silliness, and pride. "You know, Milo," Ginger said softly, "maybe one day we'll play in the big stadium with lights, and music, and cats from all over the world watching us." Milo grinned, eyes gleaming like emeralds. "We don't need a stadium," he replied. "We already have one, the biggest sky, the greenest field, and the best teammate." Ginger looked at him, touched by the simple truth. The 2 kittens were silent for a while, just listening to the wind whisper through the wheat and the soft clinking of the barn's weather vane. In that peace, their imagination didn't stop. The field before them transformed once again into a massive arena, the fireflies that had begun to appear became glowing spotlights, and the rustling leaves sounded like a cheering crowd. They started another game, this time under the stars, their eyes bright as the moonlight reflected off the ball. Every time one of them kicked, the ball gleamed faintly in the dark, as though the universe itself was playing alone. They stumbled, tumbled, and meowed in delight, covered in dew and dust, their energy endless. But deep inside, something more than play was forming. It was trust, companionship, and an unspoken promise to always chase dreams together, no matter how silly or small. When finally the cricket song grew louder and the farmhouse light flickered on, signaling bedtime, the 2 kittens curled up next to the ball in the barn's warm hay. The world outside was quiet, the stars endless. Ginger rested his head on Milo's back, whispering, "Tomorrow we'll practice dribbling, maybe even try a corner kick." Milo yawned, already half asleep, murmuring, "Only if you promise not to tackle me into the mud again." They both chuckled softly before drifting into sleep. In their dreams, the ball became a comet, the meadow a stadium floating in the sky, and the 2 tiny kittens, Ginger the bold and Milo the clever, became legends of feline football, cheered by the universe itself. And though morning would bring another simple day on the farm, somewhere deep in their hearts, the match would go on forever, a timeless story of friendship, play, and the joy of chasing something beautiful together, paw by paw, dream by dream.